Welcome back to the Conquest Champions League, and in this game we have David, the Mad Hat Man, leading his menagerie from Mordor, going up against Tyler, the Lord of the West, with his High Kings of the Last Alliance. The winner of this game will advance in the Conquest Champions League, and the loser will be eliminated. In the Conquest Champions League, I've taken 8 tournament veterans and pitted them against each other in an elimination-style tournament. In Episode 1, we saw Alex's Haradrim fight against Sean's Dunedain. Episode 2 saw PJ with his Army of the Dead going up against Nathan and his Isengard. This here is Episode 3, where we have the Last Alliance fighting Mordor, and their next game is going to be the Eastlings fighting against the Army of Lake Town. After round 1, all of the losers will be eliminated and the winners will advance to playoff in the semi-finals. Let's meet our players for Game 3.
Greetings all, I'm David with the Mordor Force. I've got the Witch King because the Witch King is in fact the greatest. I have 3 Might, 14 Will and 2 Fate, and he's got the Horse, Crown and Blade. We have an Orc Drummer, an Orc Taskmaster and an Orc Shaman on Warg. Cap this off, we've got roughly 20 Orcs-ish, including a Great Beast of Gorgoroth.
Hi, I'm Tyler, and today I'll be taking Last Alliance. It's just a brief rundown. It's Gil Galad and Horse with Shield, Elendil on Horse with Shield, 8 Numenorians, 12 Rivendell Warriors, 11 Kingsguard. Today's strategy against the Great Beast is to hope that David gets the Great Beast out of position to the point where I can just get Elendil, Gil Galad, heroic combat off and just deal with the rest of his troops. I think my elves and men will be able to do work against his normal orcs, so I think we'll go from there.
Apparently, I'm up against the Last Alliance today, so we're looking for a good clean fight. I'm going to try and hit things with the Great Beast of Gorgoroth until they stop moving. If both big heroes get onto the Great Beast at the same time, they will heroic combat off it. So that's where the Witch King and the rest of the army come in to try and save my bacon, or in this case, save the giant cow monster rhino thing.
I asked you, the viewers, who you thought was going to win the game, and 61% are in favor of Tyler. Let's find out if you're correct. I've chosen today's scenario to be Destroy the Supplies. Each player has 3 objectives in their deployment zone, and they're worth 2 points to the enemy if they move into base contact and tag them. There's also points for having a banner, killing the enemy leader, and breaking the enemy. This should be a really balanced match between 2 very interesting armies. Let's get into this game and start off deployment. Deployment started with Tyler putting down Gil Galad, the High King of the Elves. He only has 2 warbands, so he doesn't have much control over the deployment here. David's able just to drop his Shaman with a couple Warg Riders, and then Tyler's whole army is down, so now David can make a very educated decision on where to put the rest of his models. He went with the Great Beast over on one flank, and then the Orcs and Witch King just going up next to him. He's got the Drummer in that warband as well with the banner. The last one to go down was the Taskmaster, who's just making sure he's within 6 inches of all the heroes, so his Taskmaster whip ability can affect them all. And with that, our game has begun. David did declare he was drumming, which adds 3 inches to the movement of all the infantry and 5 inches to the movement of all the cavalry, so they are pushing up the board quickly. He started with the Great Beast, which is just stampeding forwards, and then pushed forward with his horde of orcs. The Witch King didn't cast any spells this turn.
I've pushed forwards with everything. I've had to leave my drum right in the middle because I want him in drum range of everything. Hopefully he doesn't get shot too badly, but that's the risk we all took.
And that goes into Tyler's movement, where he's pushing forwards with some of his Numenorians. In this scenario, you have to balance attacking and defending at the same time.
They're correct.
I got 1 shot that's moved half.
Cool. I'm just going to move Gil Galad up to
Yep,
here.
so I can't see him with that guy.
Yep, you can't see him. Meaning, but
he
he's still
can yell
in
at
range.
those guys. Yep.
Exactly. Still in range in terms of shooting as well for the army bonus.
And the Rivendell Army bonus allows all models within 6 inches of the leader who haven't moved to re-roll failed to hits with their bows. This is just going to help Tyler's shooting do a little bit better. David has 9 bows in the Great Beast, so it's going to be interesting to see who wins the shooting war.
So I have 1 shot for my elite orc on Warg at the guy in front within the line barrel. He misses. My Great Beast has 9 shots, 3 of them out that way, no targets, 3 from the top and 3 from this side, so the 3 from the top and 3 from that side just going to rain shots down into the elves there. Hitting on 5s, just run a Great Beast, so that is 1 hit. 6 is to wound, nothing.
Rivendell Knight and the 2 guys that did not move will be affected by Gil Galad with the army bonus. So 3's hit, 4's to hit. Okay, see how we go. All 3 hit. Going for the drummer, obviously. So we'll see if they go through. 1 hits the front guy and 2 go through. So the first one, the front guy, up, down, goes down, needing a 5 to wound it. Does not wound. Okay, and then the next one's going at the drummer. What's the defense on the drummer?
A drummer is defense 5.
Needing 5s. 1 wound.
He does have a point of fate, however.
So the drummer's fate point, let's see it.
Ah,
No.
got him.
This was an unfortunate early loss for David, but I understand he wanted to keep that drummer in the best position. And the rest of Tyler's shooting finished off with no more damage. So that goes into the next turn. This video is brought to you by Conquest Creations' newest terrain Kickstarter, the Kingdom of Tor Ithalas. If you like what we do here at Conquest Creations and you want to see us continue to produce more while getting some incredible terrain for yourself, then check out the Kickstarter page. Every single building has a ruined and an intact version, so you can use it to represent any type of battlefield. You can even download this building completely for free, so you can 3D print it yourself at home straight away. All of these buildings will come in the form of STL files, but if you don't have a 3D printer, then don't worry. We're also selling a merchant license so that people who run businesses with 3D printers are able to distribute our products all over the world to be able to find someone locally. Thanks for listening to me. Now let's get into the battle report. Priority in this turn went to the evil side, and David just ran up with this Warg Rider. Because he was able to drum in turn 1, he's now within 10 inches of that objective to try to destroy it next turn. In the center, his Orc Horde just moved forward, but staying outside 10 inches of Gil Galad, and over on the flank, everyone's just running forwards as quickly as they possibly can. Next up was the Great Beast, who also just went forwards. If he can get into Tyler's lines, it can start doing damage. And in Tyler's move, he just pushed forwards with all of his troops in the center, and on the flank with the Great Beast, he's shimmying backwards slightly to stay outside 8 inches of it. Elendil hid behind a building so he couldn't get shot this turn.
Gil Galad moving about 10 inches, and we'll get him going out this direction.
The shooting phase this turn was very uneventful. Both armies shot with everything they could, and not a single model was even injured from that.
I've lost priority this turn, so Taskmaster's calling a march. I've rolled the 4+, so it's free. Where there's a whip, there's a way. We'll get to see where Tyler goes, and then we will counter.
Start off with just moving the Rivendell Knight onto the objective, just like so. Then, in addition to that, I'm just going to move these guys about 6 inches this way. I want to bait you in, so we're going to move them 6 inches this way, just like so. I'll keep my guys to where they can still shoot. Elendil, where are you going, buddy? Elendil behind the tree, just like so. It'll just be there.
To finish off Tyler's move, he's just charging in with Gil Galad. He is such a unit, he can put out so much damage output, and the rest of the troops are just following him.
Gil Galad over there is committed to combat, so those guys need help. I'm going to activate the Taskmaster first, so his march activates, but the rest of these guys can move 9 this turn. So we'll go 4 back to there, 5 across. 5, so that's 7. He's got 3 inch. He's got 8 inches left. So he'll just drop in behind here.
So David, the Witch King's just about to finish his move. Where's he going?
So we're ending up here to get a nice cast at the High King himself. 2 dice for an immobilize.
Nice.
That is not cast, but I do get a reroll from my magic hat. Come on. Cast on a 4.
Would you like to use it?
No might from me. How much will would you like to put into this?
These are the questions. I'm probably going to put 2 will, if that's okay.
Yes.
Bring this over here so you can be easier. 2 will, and we'll go from there. See how we get. We get a 5, so we do resist, but we go down to 1 will.
Interesting call from Tyler there to use the will, because it didn't really make that much of a difference. I was expecting him to save it, but he's obviously got a plan that I'm not seeing.
The Great Beast will pivot around its center, returning that fence to where it was, and he will come 8 this way.
Dope.
Get there. Shieldman catch the heroic combat if it happens, and Spears are in. And hanging around.
And one of the most interesting parts of Battlefield at the moment is the far objective. Currently it's a Rivendell Knight with 2 warriors fighting a Warg Rider and 2 orcs. And here's a top-down view of the battlefield. I reckon David's pivoted so that he can try to catch half of Tyler's army with his whole entire army and just wipe it out and fight Tyler piecemeal. That did go into the shooting phase where the good side shooting didn't do anything and the evil side managed to kill just a single Rivendell warrior, which is a pretty big deal to be honest. That's the end of the shooting phase. Take us into the combat phase. Tyler, are there any heroics here?
I think so. Now, just bear with me because I do want to potentially think, and I think I can get to the shaman. So I will be doing a heroic combat with Gil Galad.
All right.
Does he have blood and glory?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Yep, all good.
And here's that heroic combat. Let's see it.
I got a 6.
5 high, that's yours.
Cool. And what defense are your boys?
5.
5. So normally 5 saloon down to 4. So first one kills him. Oh man. Second one doesn't wound yet. I'll do the Lord of the West roll on this one. Kills him.
Got him.
At this stage, Tyler had a big, long think about what to do next. One option was to charge into the bannerman, but regardless of how Gil Galad charged, the banner was always going to be able to be passed off. And Tyler spent 2 points of Gil Galad's 3 will here, and the Witch King still has a ton of resources, so Tyler knows that if he wants to make the most out of Gil Galad, this has to be a turn where he can do a lot of damage.
You know what? We're here for a good time, not a long time. So we're just going to have some fun. We're going to get him in.
Gil Galad into the shaman. Can he do it?
Yeah, let's find out. Oh, sorry. 4.
4 as well.
No banner from you.
Let's see. I don't think so. So you get your reroll first.
Yeah. 3 high.
I'll spend a might point.
I'll spend a might point as well.
All right. So Gil Galad down to 1 point of might, but he does have blood and glory. So if he can finish the job here, then that's a point of might back.
Yes. So obviously all going at the shaman.
Yes.
3s to wound.
Shaman. Orc Shaman, D5.
D5. Oh, I made a mistake.
All right. Force to wound.
Force to wound, baby. That's
1 wound reroll.
It's doable.
Lord of the West. 2 wounds.
2 wounds.
So it is a fate point.
It is a fate roll.
Okay. 4+ for the Shaman.
Oh.
No.
He dies. So Gil Galad does get a point of might back.
This was a wild play out of Tyler here, and now we can see that Gil Galad is eyeing down the Witch King next turn. It's a low odds play, but if it can work out, he will absolutely smash through David's army. The rest of the fight's finished off with Tyler losing an elf, and that goes to next turn. And next turn's priority went to the evil side. Tyler, what have you done about that?
I, of course, have attempted to call a heroic move in the hopes that it'll go off. Just get Gil Galad out of there.
And David?
I have countered with the Taskmaster. It has cost him his might point, but we think it's worth it for this one.
All right, let's see the roll off in that tray. 1, 2, 3 goes evil. 4, 5, 6 goes good.
That is a
Goes
6.
to good.
All right.
I'm going to do a courage check for Gil Galad to go into the Witch King.
Yes.
So, I'll get this. He's a Chad and he loves it. He's going to go this way. Just wrap into both. We don't like your moves.
This is such a huge play from Tyler. Obviously, this is sending it on a massive risk. Gil Galad does have the fight 9 going in there against the Witch King, but ultimately it's going to come down to who can win that fight. If Gil Galad loses that, he's in a lot of strife because the Witch King has his Morgul Blade and he'll undoubtedly be trapped. But if Gil Galad wins, the Witch King only has 2 points of fate, so could easily drop. That went to David's move, where he surrounded Gil Galad unsurprisingly, and he got a couple orcs with 2-handed weapons to charge in there. And then the Great Beast came in, and it was able to hit 1 elf. So the Great Beast has just hit that elf. He does 2 strength 6 hits on the way in. And that's a dead elf.
That's dead elf on the
But that was the extent of his move, so he stops there.
And on this flank, David's just moving up so that these orcs are within 12 inches of the Rivendell Knight, but not within 10, so we won't be able to charge him this turn. And then that Warg Rider's just shifting around. This is a really interesting little part of the table.
First things first, we're going to be moving this guy as fast as we can. Trying to help the buddy. And then Rivendell Knight, for no apparent reason, don't worry. He's here for show and tell. He's just running this way. We're trying to basically get everyone within range of the actual Great Beast for next turn. The main intent thing, though, will be that... that Elendil will stay about 8 inches outside of it. You're okay with that, David?
Remember, I can pivot, so stay 9 inches back if you want to be entirely
outside.
out.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. Cool. Just go half speed and just go into there. The Rivendell Knight will actually move here, get the cover, and still shoot.
So in David's shooting phase, there was a lot of excitement. Firstly, 6 archers fired down at Elendil, but he's still on his horse. Despite some great rolls to hit, wasn't enough. And then David, what happened with the next 3?
We got 3 shots down into this swirling melee of combat. Unfortunately, the shots fell short, and we lost a spear.
And the response from Tyler's shooting, which was minimal this turn, did not get any kills. So that's going to go into the combat phase, where I'm expecting to hear some heroics being declared. Tyler, you have not got priority, so would you like to call anything?
Defense or strike? What are you thinking?
How many guys are actually in the combat?
A Witch King, a Taskmaster, 2 Orcs with shield, Sam with 2-handed weapon, and a spear.
Okay, so I think I will call a defense.
I will strike for glory and honor.
All right.
Just because we came all this way, and we can still kill his horse.
Brilliant.
Whoa.
Let's finish with that one. We'll go through the rest first.
And this fight phase went poorly for Tyler. He lost 2 Numenorians in there. One of his other Numenorians did win the fight, but he doesn't have many models to begin with, so he doesn't want to lose them easily like this. This is a symptom of him being overextended.
Here is the final fight of the turn. It's Gil Galad fighting a ton of evil stuff.
So the Witch King is striking up, starting from 5. I need a 4 to tie it, a 5 to get higher, and we do not.
Not high enough. So Gil Galad's got 1 point of mind in it?
No, none.
No, he spent it on the defense.
So he needs a 6 here.
Has to get a 6.
3 dice and a Lord of the West reroll.
Set the bar and I'll roll. Let's get it. 3 high.
I've got a 5 down to a 4 and 1 dice out the tray.
Oh man.
This is not an impressive roll from either hero.
I've got a 4 high.
You win it.
I win it on 4 high from my 2-handed weapon, 5 down to 4.
Oh man.
The 2-handed weapon, double strike against the horse.
Yep.
Strength 3. That's
Kills
just
it.
flat 7.
Yep.
2 random orcs at strength 3 will need 6s by 6s due to the FAQ on heroic defense. You are trapped. That is a 6, 2 6s, and 1 1, which I can reroll for my army bonus. Just the 2 6s. Needing flat 6s again though. That is 2 1s for rerolls from the army bonus. That is no 6s. I have the Taskmaster, who does not get the army bonus, so he's just looking for flat 6s from his strength 4. He gets 1 wound from the Taskmaster. Here's the big question. Do I stick you with my Morgul Blade? I need natural 6s because of the heroic defense, but this is the turn I've beaten the Fight 9 guy. I'm going to use the Morgul Blade. If I get 2 6s, I finish him here and now.
Yep. Yeah, he's dead.
And I get 1 and an angle.
Oh.
Only the 1 6.
And is that the more?
That's from the Morgul Blade and 1 from a regular guy. You have 1 fate. Which dice do you wish to use it against?
The Morgul Blade.
No! So it's a 50-50 to see if Gil Galad dies or not.
I believe in him for like no seconds. He's
We
dead.
got him.
Oh.
That was an absolutely wild string of rolling. You've seen it here, always take the Morgul Blades, folks. It's so powerful, and it's responsible for killing Gil Galad. Next turn priority went to the good side.
So the main thing is all I want to do is just basically get the pin the Great Beast with Elendil. I'm just going in just like so.
And Tyler just advanced with his battle line. All those elves have had and a half swords, so they can two-hand against that great beast and hopefully put some damage on it really quickly. And if that thing goes down, David will lose a ton of models. Tyler had this one Numenorian who failed his courage check to charge the Witch King, which was very sad.
So Tyler, this Rivendell Knight going for that objective?
Shh, we don't say things. We just keep it low key. Obviously, yes. We'll be going for the objective 100%.
Okay, I'm going to start by just bringing 2 of my fellows out this way. Just to keep an eye on this flag. No reason, just, you know.
David sent his rabble of orcs to engage the good forces where they can and pull one of those elves off the great beast to hopefully keep it standing for 1 turn longer. And then he's just repositioning the rest of his guys. Those double banners coming in handy.
Witch King's going to come 2 inches across just to get nice clear line of sight past this great beast into the second High King. And we're going to throw 2 dice into a transfix. I know he's uber magic resistant, but we've seen bad dice rolls before. There's a 6, so I don't need to re-roll the second one.
Ooh.
How many dice do you wish to spend to resist?
1 real and 2 free. My bad. Does
Resisted?
resist, but I do spend the real will.
David finished off the Witch King's move just by pulling him back, making sure he's within 12 inches of all the good force to give him that -1 courage. On the other flank, these orcs have decided the time is now to run forwards. If they can go and pressure that objective and maybe even claim it, that could be essential VPs. And that took us into the shooting phase where Tyler got to shoot first. He started with this archer and managed to get a kill on that Wild Rider. That's a very important kill when we're looking at the VPs. And David's shooting started really well with 3 orc archers going down into that Rivendell Knight protecting the objective, managing to kill his horse. And the rest of David's shooting didn't manage to do anything, so are there any heroics to declare here?
Not from me.
Nope, not for me either.
Yep, and Elendil of course has a free hero combat, but he doesn't have enough attacks to kill that Great Beast in one go. So it just goes into the fight phase. And the fights are getting super important. Tyler's a bit on the back foot after losing Gil Galad, but Elendil can put out so much damage that if he can kill that Great Beast and some of the archers inside it die on that fall, he'll be able to bring this back. Final combat of the turn is the Great Beast fighting Elendil. Let's see the Great Beast set the bar.
5 high.
Okay, I'll set the bar wrong.
We've both got banners.
Both have banners. Here we go. 3, 6.
Oh, there we go.
I was about to have a cry. 4's to wound.
Yep.
2 wounds.
I
You're
will
spending the might?
use a point of might to
To force an extra courage test.
force the extra courage test.
Alright, so Elendil's got 2 might left, and the Great Beast has 2 wounds left, and has to pass 3 courage tests.
I'm at courage 4.
Yep.
First test.
Passes.
Passed. Second test. Passed. Third test. I'm running out of dice colors. Passed.
Pass. And next turn priority went to evil, which means that David could move that Great Beast first. So Tyler, what did you do?
Had to call the heroic move. Had to do it.
Yep. I've countered with my Great Beast Commander. Taskmaster was not able to motivate him, so it did cost me the might point. But we're feeling good.
Alright, so let's see the roll off. 1, 2, 3 goes evil, 4, 5, 6 goes good.
1, 2.
That's a 4.
Oh, it goes good.
Oh.
Moving first.
Is he testing courage to charge?
Absolutely. He's going to be the biggest Chad. Oh, man, that was close. You know, look at the dice.
And then in the rest of Tyler's move, he's just advancing his warriors and trying to form a battle line. So far, this battle has been very different from a usual game where we're seeing battle lines clashing. It's now David's movement.
Okay, this guy is going to charge in here, being in combat and blocking that gap, so that I can sit a guy here and hope you don't roll a 6 to jump over, or I'm not sure if you've got the move to get round. So 4 to there, 2. Ooh, maybe. You probably do, so I'll just charge in as well.
Yeah, just going to go in. Yeah, done.
This fellow is going to start heading that way, just in case they need some backup.
And this is David's back objective, that he is just swarming with some orcs. That's because the Rivendell Knight is rushing towards them to try to claim it. So the Witch King's moving. David, what is he doing?
Another 2 dice at Elendil. We're burning will out of him. He'll fail eventually. That's fail cast, because that's a 1. I do get to reroll it though from my magic hat. Still a 1.
Ooh,
Fail cast. We're down to 7 will.
And the Witch King just ducked behind a building to make sure he was safe from Elendil's heroic combat. Elendil's got great odds of killing that Great Beast this turn, which is going to cause a heap of casualties to David's army. David used the rest of his move just to advance his lines, make sure he had his battle lines intact, and then it went back to Tyler's regular move where he moved up half with this Rivendell Knight so he could shoot at those orcs on the objective. And that goes into the shooting phase where the Great Beast is shooting at Elendil.
It is 1 hit. Who does it hit? It's the good side. Up or down? It's down. Strength 2. What's the defense on that horse? Okay, come on. Got it. Does he have a horse lord?
No, he does not. Oh, this is going to hurt. Okay.
Throne rider check.
Throne Rider. Okay, he just
Keeps
stands
his
up.
feet, but is not striking blows.
Ouch, that is so painful. Elendil's horse is obviously always going to be target number 1, but to see it going down to some incredibly lucky rolling is really sad. If he hadn't lost his horse, he probably would have been killing the Great Beast this turn, which would have made a massive difference. The rest of the battle lines clashed and saw a couple elves going down and not really killing many orcs.
And this is the final combat of the turn. It's Elendil fighting the Great Beast.
With his shield.
Yes, Elendil is shielding because he can't strike blows because he was knocked off his horse.
We get the
6 each way. Elendil wins, but he backs out.
Priority for this turn went to Tyler on the good side. David, what did you do?
I've countered with the commander. Again, the Taskmaster didn't feel like getting involved, so the commander is now out of might. But we're hoping for this 50-50.
So for me, I countered with the Elendil, and let's just see how we go.
Evil.
Oh, we're so close to a 6 there.
That's how it goes. Cool.
So I'll go into Elendil and one friend. Angle. No,
Doesn't
he's
kill-
fine.
Wow.
And I get 2 strength 6 hits on Elendil.
Yeah, these are gonna be 6s.
He gets 1 wound. You want to use his fate now?
No, he's fine. He'll take a wound.
And David's heroic continued just with these orcs swarming in and trying to engage as many of the good side as possible. Now he could try to take off Elendil, but Elendil gets that free heroic combat anyway, so he may as well just let him fight the Great Beast. Tyler's just condensing his forces where possible to keep them all together, and on this side it's 1 archer versus 1 orc warrior for this objective. It's a huge fight. Down on the opposite flank, the Rivendell Knight just advanced again, trying to put pressure on that objective. In David's move, he just charged his orcs towards him.
You've just gone with the Witch King, and what are you going
I'm throwing 2 more dice in a transfix against Elendil, because if I can slow him down, I can just keep killing things and just pile the pressure on.
Alright.
2 dice transfix, cast on a 5 with a
See if we can
reroll
get
on the 1.
6.
Still on a 5. I'll leave it at that. How many will do you wish to throw at this?
1 real one and the 2 free.
Yep.
So going down to 1.
Yep.
Okay, let's see it.
Ooh.
That is a
It's a
transfix.
transfix.
And David finished his move off by sending these orc warriors towards the flank trying to get this objective.
That takes us into the shooting phase where David shot down into that banner, didn't get a kill, shot down into that combat and killed one of his own orcs.
And into the combat phase, things started going a lot better for Tyler here. He didn't take any casualties and he just pushed back a lot of the orcs and he managed to get a couple kills, including wounding the Taskmaster. So it's progress. This game can go for a long time still, and as long as Elendil's alive, he's in it.
And the next fight is Elendil and a friend fighting against the Great Beast. Now Elendil's transfixed, so he can't strike blows, but that friend can. Tyler, you gonna 2-hand with that friend?
Yeah.
Alright.
To risk it for the biscuit.
See if we can put some wounds on that Great Beast.
Yep. So do I. I got a 4 high
So
right
do
now.
I.
Apparently
We
a 4
both have
win.
banners.
Oh, yes, we do. Do I need to roll it?
No.
I don't need to roll it.
Okay. So
You
one
got-
strike from the elf needing a 5.
We got this, right? Yeah.
It's a
That's
wound.
a 6.
So the Great Beast has 1 wound
Wound.
remaining now.
And a courage test. Courage 4.
Lovely.
Passes.
And we're into the last fight of the phase. It's this 1 Numenorian archer fighting these orcs on the objective. This one's really important because those victory points are currently tight. So let's see it.
6.
That will be yours.
Well-
Numenorians.
Going for one of them, needing a 5 to wound him. He kills
Got it.
one.
Got it.
Let's get the guy back here. And thank you.
He might be the hero of the army.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah,
I'll back
alright.
you. Which way do you want to back them up?
I'll just back away.
Yeah, awesome. Easy.
Now at the start of that turn, Tyler was 1 model away from break, and he's still not broken. Alright, that goes into priority. Let's see it.
2.
5.
Alright.
Goes to you.
Are you going to use that last point of might, Tyler?
He's
Alright,
out.
You used it. Used it
Oh,
last
you're out of
turn.
might. Alright.
We're out of might in the middle there.
Wow, so that's just up to evil.
And David's movement started out with these orcs coming in and trapping this Rivendell Knight. And interestingly, he also sent the Witch King over here. Now, I'm not exactly sure what his strategy here is. I think he just felt threatened on that objective and felt like he was in a comfortable place in the middle. And on the backside, this Wild Rider was able to move into this objective, so it looks like that might be the first one to go down because the rest of the guys got pinned. And then it was time for the Great Beast.
So we hit the first guy with 2 strength 6
wound.
hits. We get him.
Get him.
So they are broken now as well. That'll count at the end of the turn. And we just scooch forwards into this fellow here,
Wow, 22.
which gets us 2 strength 6 hits. He's got 2 wounds, 1 fate. We could finish this now. What's his defense?
8.
So 5 stormed.
Yes.
5 to wound on Elendil, 2 5s.
Cop.
1 wound.
1 wound.
He's got
So Elendil has 1 wound, 1 fate left.
Yep.
But he is fighting the Great Beast. If he can put 1 wound on that could totally change this game.
Oh, yes. Let's just put that guy in there. the combat with the banner in front.
Yep. And that takes us into the shooting phase, where the Great Beast, with 1 wound left, is going to be firing down into Elendil with 3 of the bow shots. They've got 1 hit. Does it hit Elendil or the Great Beast?
That hits Elendil.
It's Elendil.
6s by something to wound him.
6s by 6s.
6s
Oh
by, what is it?
I think it's
Strength
6
2,
by
3, 4, 5,
5.
6, 7, 8. 6s by 5s. No.
no!
Oh.
6 by 4. That's going to go into the combat phase. Are there any heroics to declare?
Claim the heroic combat.
Any heroic combat coming out of Elendil?
Can the Chad do it?
And in this combat, we have Elendil fighting the Great Beast. Now, this is so important. If Elendil can get this kill, that will most likely break the Mordor force, which could totally change this game around. But if Elendil dies, well, there's no hope left for the Last Alliance. Let's see the dice rolls.
Okay. Oh. Get a 5.
Oh,
We both have a banner.
Oh man, duh.
okay.
Here we go.
Come on. No, not
So
enough.
it goes to Elendil,
Okay, now
and he
can
needs a 4. A single 4 on 3 dice. Come on, Tyler.
I'm thinking a 1, 2, 1.
Oh,
Oh, 2
got it.
wounds, thank God.
So that Great Beast fell, and when it falls, the archers all take damage, and only one of the archers and the captain survives. That is huge casualties. That's 8 losses for Mordor, which will break Mordor. And that was a heroic combat, so Elendil can move and fight again.
So I will be moving into the Taskmaster.
So I'm going to fight the Taskmaster's fight next because he's in contact with the banner. I am going to whirl because I need to put a wound on both of them to actually kill the banner, and that gives me a chance to kill Elendil, and I'm lower fight anyway, so there's no drawback.
And I'll roll.
3 high.
Got the 6.
That will be yours.
He's very dead.
That'll do it.
And this turn is a massive swing. The Warriors of the Last Alliance, now reinvigorated, performed very well. They did lose some fights, but they didn't take many casualties, and they put out damage in return. And importantly, this model who's been defending this objective won his fight and killed another orc, holding it single-handedly. The one Rivendell Knight attacking the objective did go down, so even though Tyler's done a lot of damage, he needs to keep in mind the victory points.
And here we are at the end of the turn. David, how many models did you lose that turn?
I lost 12 of them, including the Great Beast and the Taskmaster.
That is rough. At the end of the turn, though, this Warg Rider does destroy these supplies, so that is 2 VPs for David right up there. All right, that's going to go into a very important priority roll.
Yes.
Let's see it.
Two.
6.
Goes evil.
No.
Which means I'm testing courage with a lot of people. Courage 4
You'll love it.
is good.
He's a Chad.
So he just stands up and he looks tough.
And
Nice.
his stand fast will affect all those orcs around him, but it doesn't look like it's going to reach that Warg Rider just there.
No, not the Warg Rider. Which means this guy's going to stand up.
Charge
and he is
Elendil.
going to fight Elendil.
Mano. I like it.
Actually, no.
What?
He's going to stand up. I'll send somebody else to charge Elendil.
Oh.
That guy. Him. Hit. Just to get me a model for the heroic combat between me and Elendil, because I need that stand fast. Banner.
We'll just back away.
Wrap around, sort of hide this.
So that Warg Rider has gone, and he was potentially in range of that objective, so that
Yes.
is a big loss.
This guy is within stand fast range. We can just start running this way, but he's not going to make it this turn. And it'll be a courage test next turn, even if he doesn't get caught by all these angry fellows.
So the Witch King is abandoning those orcs behind him. They're
So-
not within his stand fast, so they're going to have to take courage checks, but the Witch King's just recklessly running for that objective.
And after David had some pretty iffy courage tests, he is just one model away from quartered, and this game ends on quarter. In Tyler's move, he's just charging in where possible, but he doesn't really want the game to end, because the longer it goes, the more points he's going to get. But that went into the combat phase where he got 2 kills in quick succession. He was fighting against the banner, and he had a chance to kill it, which would have scored him extra VPs, but it wasn't the case. Finally, the one hero died, but David won't be getting that objective. Let's tally up the scores.
At the end of the game, we burned 1 objective marker, which is worth 2 points. We have killed Gil Galad, as seen by the lack of Gil Galad here, which is worth 2 points. Both armies are broken, which is 1 for me. And both armies have a banner remaining, which is again 1 for me, for a total of 6 points.
Yeah, so the 1 point for breaking in, and then 1 point for the damage.
Cool. So final conclusion of 2-6 in favor of Mordor.
Ah, yeah, that was something. Holy mackerel.
Well, that was crazy. The plan, in the loosest sense of the term, was to present a weak center, which would lure him in. But unfortunately, Tyler is very good at the game, so I couldn't offer fake bait. I had to put a shaman in front of him. And he cut through the shaman, got into the Witch King. I thought nothing would stop him, but the dice could stop him. Next round, things are only going to get harder from here. It's the Champions League, so we're looking at facing some of the best. Let's hope the Beast can grind them to dust.
Next episode is the Army of Lake Town led by Jeremy going up against the Easterlings played by Marcus.